Yes, yes, yes. It's the Raphael Dawkins with the Combat Radio, bringing you somewhat emotional news. Deontay Wilder in his first full interview since his shock performance. Shock is in the manner of the defeat, because I always had that as a 60-40 fight, 50-50 fight. So the shock was in the, not so much in the defeat, but the nature of the defeat. You'd be hard pressed to give Deontay Wilder one single round in that fight with Joseph Parker. Okay, so Deontay Wilder in his first interview got emotional when asked this question.
So what do you? It was these rumors that came out before the Parker fight. Rumors that start circulating all over the internet that you and Joshua had signed a 2-fight deal to face each other. What can you tell anybody, the people about you? Is that deal still on the table, or is it official? What's going on with that?
Man,
At this point, Deontay Wilder had a long pause to compose himself, gather himself, because he knows he just messed up the bag. Because Eddie Hearn had spoken and told us about the situation.
We had signed the Wilder contract. It was going to be announced tonight, but it's boxing, and it's one that we believed we would win. And, if anyone was going to beat him, I was pleased it was Joe.
Okay, if anyone was going to beat him, I was pleased it was going to be Joe. Well, it should have been your man's. Shouldn't have been Joe. It should have been your man's.
He looked terribly out of sorts. I didn't really give him a round. Even when the referee...
Okay, didn't give him a round. Let's go back to Deontay.
Is that deal still on the table, or is it official? What's going on with that?
Man, it's so, man, it just, I paused because
You pause because it's emotional. You just messed up the bag, my man. So it's understandable that you're going to be emotional about it. Please, Deontay, continue.
so much going on, man. They really don't want that fight, man.
No, they don't. They don't.
They really don't want that fight. And when I lost, you see how happy he was coming out.
Bro, that's
They really don't want the fight. Well, why the hell would they have just signed a contract, a 2-fight contract? And why the hell have you just dodged the question? But yeah, they did look happy. They just won a damn fight themselves. It's not all about you, Deontay. It's not all about you.
And he was raising his hands as if he...
He's raising his hand. That's a good point. He was raising his hands.
We might get the decision. So it was a strange performance.
It was an extremely strange performance. And yes, they do look happy. They look very, very happy. They just want to fight. And you, Deontay, you've just fumbled the bag and you're trying to blame it on somebody else. And that's been the problem all along, hasn't it? Not taking responsibility. You were an extremely obese man. That's why you had acid reflux. And furthermore, you didn't have acid reflux and you didn't almost throw up. Or maybe you did because, Deontay appears to be a moneymaker for you. And now your moneymaker looks like he's going to have to be contemplating retirement because his performance against Joseph Parker was absolutely abysmal. I've heard it said that Malik Scott has turned Deontay Wilder into Malik Scott. And it's deep because it appears to be true. Deontay Wilder couldn't even, if it was anything, if he only had anything, it was the 1-2. it was the jab and then a quick right behind it. So if he only had one thing, it was that combo. The jab and then the fastball right coming right behind it. And it appears that he hasn't even got that now. Even that, his basic staple, his basic 1-2, even that appears to have disappeared, to have eroded. Was it Tyson Fury? His wars with Tyson Fury, did they have an impact? I think it can't be proved, but I think it's something that we expected, and it appears to be something that we have seen. Even in the third fight, we saw a clear deterioration in Deontay Wilder. Was it merely physical, or was it also a mental deterioration? I think it's a combination of the two. But there you have it, Deontay Wilder, once again, not taking responsibility for his own actions.
It like came up to my throat, man. I was so disgusted when I seen Eddie Hearn was so happy and excited.
Oh my
I ain't
goodness.
never seen somebody this happy to get out of a huge payday. This man looked like he got rejuvenated. I mean,
Man, Christmas for today.
So now 78 and Wilder appear to be taking responsibility for Joshua putting in a fine performance against Otto Wallin. So he's not accepting responsibility for his own action or lack thereof, but he is accepting responsibility or plaudits, or he wants congratulating for Joshua's fine performance. And this, I'm afraid, is just a part of the delusional nature of Mr. Wilder and his cohorts, his supporters, his sycophants, those who have misled him for years, enabled him to fight weak opponents and create a mirage, a false picture that he was actually doing something. But what has he actually achieved? If this is the end for Deontay Wilder, what has he actually achieved? Who was his best win? It would have to be Stavern, the first fight. Stavern, who was a legitimate top 10 at that point when Deontay Wilder beat him for the WBC World Heavyweight Championship belt. So that's it. Stavern is Deontay Wilder's greatest accomplishment. 10 defenses. Remain Stavern is Deontay Wilder's greatest achievement. And then behind him, Luis Ortiz. Those are the accolades. Those are the best wins. How outrageous. Losing to Tyson Fury 2 times. I mean, what accolades can you get from that? And then we have to look at Fury's resume. Took a hell of a battering because 2 of his 3 best wins got battered on the day of reckoning. Deontay Wilder got absolutely battered all around the ring by Joseph Parker. And Otto Wallin, maybe his 3rd best win, as proclaimed by the people. He got absolutely battered. He got battered worse than Deontay Wilder. He got battered by Anthony Joshua. Quit on his stool after all the big talk. So the big talking Otto Wallin, we haven't heard a peep out of him since. The big talking Deontay Wilder about he's going to do this, he's going to do that. Everybody's scared of him. Got battered around the ring. He was running all night long. Running away from Joseph Parker like he was running from the Candyman or Edward Scissorhands. Deontay Wilder has been turned into Malik Scott. by Malik Scott. Didn't even have a 1-2. And Big Baby Miller, the other big mouth, maybe the biggest mouth of the lot, took one hell of a battering at the hands of Daniel Dubois. Let's get it right. Jarrell Miller was looking at the referee to save him at the end. He was looking at the referee as if to say, can't you see the beating that I'm taking? Don't you have a heart? Ain't you got kids? Don't you got some compassion? So it was a hell of a night over there in Saudi. Deontay Wilder, always wanted to see him against somebody like a Joshua or a Parker. Boxers who had consistently fought top 10 guys. No one more so than Anthony Joshua. Legitimate top 10 guys, that is. And I always suspected that we'd learn a lot, we'd find out a lot when Deontay Wilder finally fought someone. Mind you, Tyson Fury, it's only recently that he's started fighting top 10 guys. And was Chisora his last fight? Before Ngannou? Was Chisora top 10 at that stage? I don't think so. Ngannou wasn't even ranked. So even Tyson Fury was not a good barometer to find out how good or how bad Deontay Wilder was. Because he doesn't consistently fight top 10 guys. So it would take a Joshua or a Parker for us to be the litmus test to find out what this bronze bomber cat, what his level really was. And so it came to pass that once Deontay Wilder stepped in against a guy who routinely fights other legitimate top 10 guys, so it came to pass that his actual level was established, and his level was even lower than I had expected. So, low level, okay. Let's factor in some deterioration. Let's factor that in. Okay, so it's deteriorated to an extent, but still, surely that can't account for how bad this cat who came in full of big talk, full of tough talk, surely it can't explain how bad he really looked. Totally outrageous. Terrible. Terrible. Not even basic boxing skills. Not even the basic boxing skills. He was running around the ring like a madman. Why was you running away from Joseph Parker? Why were you acting like Joseph Parker was Ernie Shavers in there? Is it the whiskers? Is it the whiskers? You got no confidence in the whiskers anymore? What would Anthony Joshua have done to you that night? He'd have left you, he would have sent you into the shadow realm. Even your own people are acknowledging that. So don't go away, Deontay. Or do go away. It's up to you, but I don't think you're going to want to walk away. You've got a taste of the big money now, Deontay. And the big money tastes sweet. The big money tastes sweeter than that PBC money that you came up on. The big money tastes sweeter than sugar, Deontay. And that's why in the post-fight interview, you said you hope to be back. Even though you just got your ass embarrassed in front of the world. You don't care about that. Because that money, that big money, is sweet. And so you're going to stick around, aren't you, Deontay? You're going to stick around in the hope of that Joshua bag. The Joshua bag that you were just crying about that you missed out on. You're going to stick around. And you're going to step in there against Anthony Joshua. And he, my friend, is going to send you into the shadow realm. You see, you and Tyson Fury, you kept up this mirage that you were both the cream of the crop. And Tyson Fury knew that it was BS, but he kept up the mirage too because it made him look good. But Deontay, the screen has been pulled up behind a magic trick. And you are not, and you never have been elite. And that, my friend, is the bitter truth. Sir Raphael Dawkins, the Combat Radio. And I'm out.